A life-taker staged this crime scene to frame a dead man and almost got away with it. The text message that lured the victim is more chilling than anything you have ever read. The reason the life-taker returned to the stage after the crime will leave you in disbelief. You must watch until the end for the twist involving his fiancée. On May 21, 2010, Stephen Hare dialed 911 with panic tightening his throat, his words stumbling out in fragments as he tried to explain what he had just discovered in his son's Costa Mesa apartment. A body, a young woman lying face down, blood leaking from her head, her clothes disturbed in a way that suggested assault. He could hardly process what he was looking at, and in the chaos of that moment he kept repeating the phrase, "There's blood, there's a body." When officers arrived, the bedroom revealed itself like a stage set for something grotesque. The sheets soaked red, the victim posed unnaturally, a tiara still on her head as if mocking innocence, and a message scrawled across her sweater in crude handwriting that read, "All yours." Whoever orchestrated this wanted the discovery itself to send a message. The entire crime scene reeked of performance. The victim was identified from her license found in her purse. She was Julie Kibushi, only 23 years old. To her family, she was My Valentine Girl, born on February 14, 1987, the third of 4 children of June and Masa Kibushi. She had grown up in a close Japanese-American household that valued discipline and respect but also encouraged creativity. Julie was a burst of color in every room. Her friends remembered her goofiness, the way she laughed until her whole body shook, the way she always said yes when someone needed her. She started tap dancing at 5, later adding jazz and contemporary, moving with the kind of passion that made teachers stop and watch. After graduating from the Orange County School of the Arts, she pursued fashion design at Orange Coast College. She dreamed of creating clothing that fused her Japanese heritage with her American upbringing, something vibrant, free, and unique. Julie was the type of person people leaned on, friends, classmates, even acquaintances. She never turned her back on anyone. It was at Orange Coast College that Julie met Samuel Eliezer Hare, a man 3 years her senior. Sam had been born May 29, 1983, in Los Angeles, the only child of Stephen and Raquel Hare. His father was a special education teacher, his mother a homemaker who poured her time into raising him. Sam was doted on, deeply loved, and though physically large and imposing, his friends described him as a teddy bear. Yet behind that gentle nature, scars lingered. At 18, he enlisted in the U.S. Army, serving with the 173rd Airborne Brigade. He was deployed to Afghanistan, later Germany, where he lived through explosions, firefights, and the constant edge of combat. After 3 years, he returned home with honor, discharged with the GI Bill to pursue college. But he also returned with nightmares. He suffered post-traumatic stress disorder. The sounds of loud pops made him flinch, crowds left him sweating, and in quiet moments he withdrew, fighting demons his parents could not chase away. Julie tutored Sam in anthropology, but their connection went beyond academics. She saw his struggles and offered kindness without judgment. He confided in her. She became the person he could text when he was low, the one who always replied, "I'll be there." On the weekend of May 21, 2010, she was supposed to be at home, but when messages came from Sam's number saying he needed her, she responded as she always did. The first text was ordinary, Sam telling her he was helping a friend before visiting his parents. Then, hours later, came the desperate ones, begging her to come, saying he was upset, that he needed someone like family. Julie replied with reassurance. She would come. She would help. She stepped into that apartment that evening with no idea she was walking into a death trap. When her body was discovered, suspicion immediately fell on Sam. His car was missing. His passport was gone. There were no signs of forced entry, suggesting he had willingly let her in. And his history cast a long shadow. In 2002, when he was only 18, Sam had been charged in connection with the brutal life-taking of his childhood friend Byron Benito. Prosecutors claimed Sam had lured Benito to the site, but at trial, Sam was acquitted, the jury convinced he had been in the wrong place with the wrong people. Still, detectives now remembered those accusations. They asked, Had the trauma of war combined with a violent past pushed him over the edge? An all-points bulletin went out. Police warned the public he was armed and dangerous. To his parents, who knew their son as damaged but not a life-taker, the accusations were unbearable. Yet to detectives, everything fit too perfectly. The victim in his apartment, the missing car, the missing passport. And then came the ATM withdrawals. Someone was pulling money from Sam's account. Surveillance cameras revealed not the burly veteran but a teenage boy in a hoodie. He was later identified as 17-year-old Wesley Freelich. When officers cornered him, he admitted he had Sam's card, but he hadn't stolen it. He said it had been given to him by a man he admired, 38-year-old Daniel Patrick Wozniak, a community theater actor. Daniel Wozniak's life was a portrait of contrasts. Born in 1984, the youngest of 3 brothers, he grew up in comfort. His parents worked long hours, but his grandparents filled the gaps, and his childhood was filled with vacations, laughter, and support. Daniel learned early how to get attention. Through jokes, through song, through the magic tricks he practiced endlessly. In school, he was the funny one, the charming one, always chasing applause. He had a gift for performance and carried it into adulthood, starring in local musicals, singing on community stages. He craved the spotlight but never found stability. He bounced from job to job, earning little, often broke, yet always quick with a smile. By 2010, he was engaged to fellow actress Rachel Buffett, and the two planned a lavish wedding. But he was drowning in debt. He owed back rent. He had no money for the honeymoon. It was in that desperation that he looked at his neighbor Sam Hare and saw an opportunity. Sam had over $60,000 saved from military pay. To Daniel, that money became the answer to his financial ruin and the key to a perfect wedding. His plan was monstrous. On May 21st, he lured Sam to the attic of the Los Alamitos Theater under the pretense of moving boxes. As Sam bent down, Daniel pulled out a fire weapon and fired him once in the head. Dazed, Sam begged for help. Daniel reloaded and fired him again, execution style. He left the body there and went straight to perform in his play, stepping under stage lights as if nothing had happened. Hours later, he used Sam's phone to text Julie, pretending to be Sam in crisis. Julie, faithful friend, came. When she entered the apartment, Daniel fired her twice in the head. He then staged the body to suggest Sam had forcefully had carnal knowledge of her and unalived her before fleeing. But Daniel knew he couldn't leave Sam's body as it was. Later, he returned to the attic, dismembered Sam, and dumped them in a park to prevent identification. This was the level of cold calculation he possessed. Unaliving 2 innocent people, desecrating one, and then returning to sing, dance, and laugh with castmates as if he were still just a carefree actor. Photographs from that night show him grinning at parties, his crimes invisible to everyone around him. The unraveling came when police raided his bachelor party and hauled him in. At first, he spun stories, saying he was only guilty of covering for Sam, then admitting knowledge of Julie's unalive but still blaming Sam. Under pressure, detectives bluffed, telling him his DNA had been found on Julie's body. He didn't deny it. Instead, he said his DNA was there because he had stood over her corpse. That slip shattered his story. Eventually, Daniel confessed to the full timeline, outlining how he had unalived Sam, lured Julie, staged the scene, and disposed of remains, all for money. Investigators soon found the backpack Rachel Buffett had tried to hide, filled with incriminating items. Sam's passport, financial records, bloody clothes, the unalive weapon. DNA linked it all to Daniel. In court, prosecutors called it overwhelming, a case with every kind of evidence: physical, forensic, testimonial, and confessional. The trial in December 2015 lasted only 5 days. Jurors deliberated for just an hour before recommending death. On September 23, 2016, Daniel Wozniak was formally sentenced to die. The story did not end there. Rachel Buffett, once his fiancée, was later charged with accessory after the fact. She had lied to detectives, concealed details, and downplayed her knowledge. In 2018, she was convicted and sentenced to 32 months. She served her time, released in 2019, her life forever tainted by the role she played in shielding a murderer. For the Kibushi family, grief was immeasurable. Their daughter, their Valentine girl, stolen by a man she barely knew, murdered because she answered a friend's call for help. For the Hare family, the pain was doubled. Their son Sam, who had fought wars abroad and fought demons within, was cut down not by the violence of strangers overseas, but by betrayal at home. His memory was stained by suspicion in the days after Julie's death. His name dragged through headlines until the truth emerged. Their fight became not only for justice, but for Sam's dignity. The case of Daniel Wozniak remains one of California's most shocking true crime sagas. It had everything: false suspicion, a staged crime scene, a life-taker hiding behind the mask of a performer. But at its heart were two lives: Julie Kibushi, full of laughter and creativity, and Sam Hare, a soldier trying to heal. Both were used, both destroyed, so one man could chase applause, money, and a fantasy wedding. In the end, the stage Daniel loved so much became his undoing. His performance collapsed, and what remained was a portrait of greed at its most lethal, a reminder that monsters sometimes smile the brightest. Now that you've heard the case, what do you make of Daniel Wozniak's cold calculation? How do you view the way Julie and Sam were used in his pursuit of money and fame? Do you believe the justice system delivered the right outcome in sentencing him? Drop your thoughts in the comments section, and don't forget to subscribe for more unbelievable crime stories.